Hello and welcome to our second episode in the Beginner's Guide to Imperator Rome. In the first episode, we went over money, manpower, pops, trade, and buildings, and we learned about just how interconnected all of the various systems are. Things don't change here either, as now we'll move on to talk about technology and inventions. When you first open up the technology screen, you'll see what your current technology level in the four categories of martial, civic, oratory, and religious are. As we're playing as Rome, we won't start at level 0, but instead at level 2 in each category. Other nations, such as the barbarians to our north, are not as technologically advanced as we are, and may start at level 1 or even 0. Every advance you make in a technology comes with a few modifiers that can add up to be pretty significant over time. For example, every level of martial tech will give you a small boost to the maximum morale of your armies and navies, while also making your legions and navies just cost that little bit extra to maintain. Civic advances will give a boost to the population capacity of your territories, meaning more pops can live in an area before it becomes overcrowded. We'll talk about population capacity in a future video. It also increases the amount of food you produce in your entire nation. With every oratory advance, you gain a little bit of civilization level, and as we touched on in the last video, every little bit of civilization level is incredibly valuable. And finally, with every advance made in religious tech, you gain a little bit of omen power. More on omens in a later video though. Technology will accrue over time in the four categories until it reaches 100%. Then you get a level up. The math behind how fast it ticks up is more in-depth than is necessary for a general overview, so we'll wait until we get to the in-depth part of the Beginner's Guide to get a look at the crunchy numbers. But what you should take away from it right now is that the more research points you generate through your nobles and citizens compared to your total population of integrated pops, and the more skilled the researcher you assign to the job, the faster you will tech up. You will want to put a highly skilled martial character to research martial advances, a charismatic character for oratory, and so on and so forth. Now, the minor bonuses we spoke about earlier are not the only benefits of leveling up your technology, because now we get to talk about inventions. Every time you level up, you earn 1 innovation point, which can be spent on an invention in any of the 4 categories we have here. As Rome, because we started at level 2 technology in every category, we have 8 innovation points to spend at the very start of the game. You do not have to spend an innovation you earn from leveling up martial tech on a martial invention either. Spend them however you see fit. Inventions come in these trees, and there are a lot to choose from, more than you will ever generally have the innovations to get in any single playthrough. Martial inventions are, as you might imagine, great for beefing up the strength of your armies and navies. Civic advances are great for making money and making your pops more productive, and it also has the rural planning invention that we spoke about in the previous video. Oratory inventions are linked to diplomacy and your characters, and religious advances are great for general happiness, omens, and more. These categories are very generalized, and there is some overlap to be sure, and while it can be a little bit daunting seeing the massive amount of options you have in front of you, it does get easier over time, and you come to recognize the important keystone inventions you may want to aim for. The game makes this a bit easier by signifying these keystone inventions with a bit of flair, like we see here with war dedication. It also has a planning mode, where you can go through and highlight the text you want to aim for, and a search bar, where you can search for the name of a tech or the modifier that it gives. For example, if we want to see all the technologies that give population growth, we can type growth into the search bar and see that the game has highlighted all of the inventions with pop growth. Not all of the techs are just modifiers either, as some techs we have can radically alter the way one plays the game. For example, in the oratory tree, we have a branch that will lead you from being a republic into a monarchy, with a final invention on this branch starting a civil war in your nation between the pro-monarchists and the republicans. Win that war and you will become a hereditary monarchy. Lose it, and it will be game over, so make sure you're ready for it. Not every nation has the same inventions, as many are culturally or governmentally specific. The invention branch we just spoke about with becoming a monarchy wouldn't make much sense to have if we started the game as one, after all. As Rome, we have inventions that no other nation has at game start, such as the Corvus, which is a boarding device that the Romans used to great effect during their conflicts with Carthage. This one gives a small bonus to your chance to capture enemy ships when in naval combat. Other nations, such as the Gauls to our north, have unique inventions like Noric steel, which increases the offensiveness of their heavy infantry. Now, you might say that as Rome you really quite like your heavy infantry and wouldn't mind getting your hands on some of that Noric steel, and to that I say you absolutely can. You unlock the unique inventions of other cultures when you integrate someone from that culture. So, as Rome, we would gain access to this prized Noric steel, were we to integrate one of the Gallic cultures like Lapontic, Helvetian, or even Noric itself. Now, this is the second time I've mentioned cultural integration in this video. First when talking about integrated pops as part of the calculation on how fast your research is, and now again when talking about unique inventions. However, that will have to wait until next time, as we're unfortunately out of time for this video. So please join me next time, where I'll be giving you an overview on what culture is and how you can manipulate it to your own benefit. Until then, salve.